Coming to you directly from Soapbox World Headquarters, this is the Up on the Soapbox podcast, a production of Soapbox Marketing Communication. The Soapbox is the promotional products industry's newest communication platform. We organize and facilitate deep dive virtual conversations between some of the industry's most compelling suppliers and top producing distributor salespeople from markets all across the country. All these conversations happen on our custom online platform, promosoapbox.com. The foundational goal for the Soapbox is to host and foster a simple yet dynamic online environment which helps develop deep personal business connections by way of purposeful one-on-one conversation. I am Brett Schaefer, and along with my partner and co-host Dan Piggott, we bring you Up on the Soapbox. Welcome to the Up on the Soapbox podcast. This is our first episode. Welcome to episode 1. With me today, I have my partner in crime, Dan Piggott. Say hello, Dan.
Hello, Brett.
Dan and I have been working on the Soapbox for the better part of 2020. And with great excitement, we are here to tell you that on January 20th of this year, we will be launching our first Soapbox event. So it's a really good time. And part of what we're doing is getting to know some of our suppliers that have joined us on the Soapbox that will be working with our distributors to increase your ROI. And that's what the Soapbox is all about. We're hooking up some of the industry's best distributors with the industry's top suppliers for personal one-on-one conversations, all in the interest of building business on both sides of the aisle. So things are going off to a great start here. We're excited to share the platform with all of you all as we go along and build this and scale it up throughout the course of the next year or so and into the future and beyond. So this is our podcast. Like I said, we plan to do this on a regular basis. This is going to give you an opportunity to learn something about our supplier principles. Mark Siegel is with us today. Mark is from Sofia's Cookies. Mark, why don't you tell us about yourself? Let us know a little bit about your company and anything interesting that you'd care to share with the audience. Go ahead.
Well, I hope for interesting. It's an honor to be your first guest. You guys are doing a great job. I'm really excited to kick it off, and I think it's perfect timing for the industry. The industry needs something like this, and you guys are doing a great job fulfilling it. I'm really excited. So my name is Mark, again, the owner of Sofia's Cookies. We're based in the Twin Cities, just outside of Minneapolis. And I just learned, I'm not very good at things like this, but this is our 10th anniversary this year. And so I've been in the cookie, our primary product is cookies, and then we have snacks and other items that we put in custom designed canisters. And even harder to believe than it's been 10 years, I've been peddling cookies now for 20 years. The previous business was also cookies that we sold through the retail and gift basket market. And about 10 years ago, we ended up selling that business and starting this one around the same time. And it's been just a phenomenal success. We feel so incredibly fortunate to be where we are. The business keeps growing significantly each year, and we just love the industry and love the people that we're working with.
I've never had the privilege of working with you in terms of putting an order through or anything, but so the niche for your line.
I noticed, yeah.
Yes. I was never fortunate enough to be in a position to do so.
Excuses.
Okay?
Yeah.
Please. Yeah. So in terms of your niche though, it's all about the packaging? Is it about the delicious cookies? Is it a combination of both? Where do you fall on that?
Yeah, it's a great question. So my background is in the food, and it's interesting because so much of our time is spent on the packaging. It's really what we've become known for. I don't know if I'll ever let go of kind of the food background of how I was raised and where I come from. And we always make sure as we're talking to people that we always start with the food because, in the grand scheme of the gift world, as food goes, there's a lot of really bad food out there. And we're 100% dedicated to not being that. So we only use all natural ingredients. We bake everything fresh to order. There's a lot of different tricks that you can do to save a few pennies here and there. And we just sleep a lot better knowing that we don't do any of those things. So it starts out with great product. And then, what the industry is really known as for is the packaging that we have, and that everything is custom designed. So we don't have, so much of the industry, you might have an imprint area, or, your logo goes here. We've never done that. We never will do that. For us, the entire package is up for design, and we have incredibly talented, award-winning designers on staff that do all of that design work, or we have some clients that want to do the design themselves, which they're welcome to. But part of what we love about the business is every day we're creating something new. It's not just we're putting, Google's logo on it this time and Facebook the next time. We're doing a totally custom design for them.
Wow. So is the normal process for you guys to throw 6 or 8 ideas at people, or how does that, what is it sort of like from a process standpoint?
Yeah, another good question. So it can come any different way. The majority of the time, distributor will contact us, and if Google is an extreme example, but we've done work for them, which is great. But Google's got a sales meeting coming up in 3 months in Hawaii, and what could we do for them? And so at that point, we take as much information as we can and turn it over to our designers. They work on the designs. We turn them into what we call our virtuals. We send the virtuals off, and then there's some back and forth between us and the distributor, and the distributor with their client, and then we keep going on that as many times as needed, and then sometimes we'll send an actual spec sample. Then oftentimes it's just it turns into an order from there.
So is this a family affair? Who is this mysterious Sophia?
Well, Sophia hopefully is in school right now. Sophia, it is a bit of a family affair, but Sophia is my daughter. I have 2 children. I guess we like Sophia a little bit more. We've been accused of, but
the other one does have a name. You name the other child.
It's a him. It's Max. He's great
Okay.
too. But we fully believe in child labor here. This isn't being broadcast or anything, right?
No.
A lot of the kids will come and help us, especially during the holidays, get orders out, and so.
That's cool.
But Sophia's still studying away.
So I have 2 takeaways from this. Number one, you're going to open Max's Chip Company real soon. And secondly, you are surprisingly svelte for a guy who sells cookies. I don't know how you keep the weight off, but that would be a problem for me.
The camera takes off 20 pounds.
Takes off. It works in reverse.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the meat of what we're doing here on the podcast. We are going to be asking our guests to take a position on something, to step up on the soapbox. That is the name after all. And, we are asking you to take a position on something. So Mark, it's time to step up on the soapbox. Why don't you tell us what's on your mind today?
Yeah. So you guys were nice enough to put some ideas in my head, and a lot of it was around sports and what sports team is the best and things like that. And unfortunately for Minnesota, it's hard I can't really defend my sports teams right now. So I'm going to fall back to the industry here, and I don't know how unique my position is, but it's somewhat unique in that I had about 10 years, as I said earlier, in the retail world and 10 years in the promotional products world. And, my take would be I defend all day long how much better the promotional products industry is than retail. And there was one point where I felt so strong, I made a list of about 15 points, and I know we're recording this and I don't want you to run out of tape. So I'll break it down into 4 things. The most important thing, and I'm not trying to just pander to the audience here, is that it truly is a partnership. What I've realized is we need the distributors just as much as the distributors need us. And that's one of the biggest things I love about it is, I talked a little bit about, Dan, you asked about, how we go to market and in the process. It really is a partnership. We're working with them. And as opposed to in the retail world, I've sat across the table from many buyers, and it is not a partnership. They might say it's a partnership. It's not a partnership. It's me against you, beat you down for every last penny you have. And if you if I succeed or don't succeed, it doesn't really matter to them. So that's the kind of the biggest thing. Another reason is that I think too many lose track of the items are being given away. In retail, half the battle is just getting it to the shelf. The other half of the battle, which is just as important, is getting it off the shelf. It's got to sell. And in the promotional products world, it's all being given away. So we're not talking about sell through here. And the two other things that always come to mind is the creativity, and it might be more unique in our world than others. But as I said before, we're creating something new every day. There are no 2 days are never the same. And I love that about what we're doing here. And then the final thing is the price is the price. There's less than 5 times a year do I ever have someone say, well, can you give me a little bit better price or anything like that? It's great. Everyone just seems to understand this is what the prices are.
Wow.
And not included, one other final thing, if I ever hear anyone in the promotional products industry complain about samples, I tell them to go spend some time in the retail world where it was, send me 5 cases of product, I'll see how it goes. And you don't pay for anything. So the fact that people are willing to pay for a sample and
all valid points. I wanted to play devil's advocate with you a little bit.
Yeah, please.
I don't know that I can, because you've made such a cogent argument. I mean, I think for your case, and I accept it.
Thank you.
As do I. So we are going to be ending our podcast with a very simple yes/no question. I say simple. I'm certain it can lead into some very spirited conversations. But Mark, your question today, and I think you're going to know how Dan and I feel about the answer here, is do you think there will be a major in-person event in the promotional products industry in 2021?
No.
And why do you say that?
I wish it wasn't the answer. I just don't see it. I think there's too much risk. Maybe smaller regional shows towards the end of the year would be willing to do it. I think for a PPAI or an ASI to take that risk right now, the amount of planning that goes into those shows, booking them out and all of that, I just have a hard time seeing. Unfortunately, the vaccine being out there, I mean, we're so many months away from enough people having the vaccine that I'm sure any of these organizers would feel comfortable saying, yeah, go for it. I mean, even with masks on, we're a food item. Our days are probably done with having open food on the table, but which is unfortunate. But even that, I mean, just there's just too much interaction, too much close interaction. Everyone knows how busy some of those shows get. I just can't imagine people feeling safe enough to do that. I probably lie on the side of being more cautious than maybe some other people do in other parts of the country, but it's just hard to imagine right now. I just don't see it right now. I wish that wasn't the answer. I just don't see it.
The Soapbox will accept that answer as well, for probably rather obvious reasons. Anything else you'd like to impart upon our audience here today, Mark?
No, I just think you guys are doing a great job. I think the industry has been craving something like this. I think it's great. You guys are at the foundation of what's so great about the industry, and that is connecting people like us, and connecting distributors is what this whole thing is about, and building these relationships. And I think it's great, not just now, it's very timely now, but I think this is going to be a great platform for many, many years to come. So I congratulate you guys and think you're doing a great job.
Thank you so much, Mark. On those words, we will leave you this time. It's for episode 1. We are signing out, but look forward to many, many more of these as we go along. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.